Well, in other news, Italy is on a collision course with the European Union over its budget for next year. The European Commission has rejected Italy's proposal for violating EU spending limits and given them until midnight on Wednesday to come up with a new one. But as Sonia Gallego reports from Rome, the conflict could be playing into the hands of Italy's Eurosceptic leaders.
Maurizio Marino has been running his bakery for 2 years. Business is good, he says, but it's a struggle making a living. As a small business owner, he pays more than 60% tax and sees little financial benefits. But he says he loves what he does and will keep doing it. His hope is that the government will stick to its word and take on the European Union over Italy's weak economy.
Secondo me, questo governo.
I think that this government has the opportunity to relaunch Italy, not just in Europe, but in the world. If it were up to me, and the EU refuses the government's proposal, I'd force them to accept it or tell them it's war. We can't keep bowing down to them.
His opinion is one of a growing number of those becoming increasingly anti-EU. When the government tried to push forward a budget for next year that outlined a flat tax for companies and wealthier individuals and a basic income for the unemployed, the European Commission rejected it. It said it would plunge Italy's heavily indebted economy into a dangerous downward spiral that could impact the rest of the continent. The government has remained defiant towards Brussels, and one of the reasons why is because it's profiting politically from the situation. When the European Commission rejected Italy's fiscal plan, it played right into the anti-EU stance of the far-right and populist deputy prime ministers. But there's been little thought for the consequences that could lie ahead. Italy's economy has been struggling with poor productivity for the past 30 years. Austerity worsened its prospects. Where other economies have managed to rebound, Italy has been unable to emerge from that rut, a fact swooped upon by anti-EU politicians who lay the blame on the European Union despite their reliance on it.
It's incredibly dependent on Europe. The best Italian companies thrive because they can export. And most of the Italian exports are to the other European Union countries. So the moment you bet on a collapse of the European Union institutions, it's going to be inevitable that trade will collapse with it, and so will the Italian economy.
If Italy fails to cooperate, then it would face sanctions and fines from the Commission, further adding to its economic burden. It's a gamble for the government, one that it does not want to lose. Sonia Gallego, Aljazeera, Rome.